Hello and welcome to Hey, We Like Your Pod, and we're going to tell you why. Hi, it's Dawn here, and I am joined this week while Matt is on vacation by two wonderful guests, Joey and Big B from the Underage Packers Podcast. How are you guys? Hello, Joey. Hello, Big B.
Hello. Thank you so much. First thing that I wanted to bring up is Matt's trombone playing. He's playing that intro, right?
That's right.
That was pretty phenomenal there. Thanks for having us on. I'm honored to fill in at least halfway for Matt, and I'm excited for this.
Yay. Big B, it's nice to see you in the flesh.
Yeah, super excited to do this today.
So we have a special program today, something a little bit different. We might bring you some superlatives if we have time, but what we're going to do kind of came out of a conversation that happened on Twitter. And we are going to bring you our definitive top 10 NFL Packers bloggers list. And by the end of the show, at least, we're going to try to do that. There might be some horse trading and some negotiating going on, but we're going to try really hard. So we're going to get started with our favorite YouTubers. And so how about, guys, we go like top 3, 4, or 5. I don't know how many you brought, just in case we have some overlap. And then we can kind of, because I have a feeling some of ours will be overlapping. So we'll want to make sure we have 10 at the end. So Big B, what do you think? What do you think you have for top YouTubers in the Packers or NFL sphere?
All right. Well, of course, you have to start out with Tom Grossi. I feel like he's incredible. Goes with the Packers and NFL. He does pretty much anything. Mm-hmm. So you got to have him on that list. Oh, cutting out here. Have CheeseheadTV as well as PackADay. Both incredible at what they do. And then I have Jackson Cougar Sports. He does amazing film breakdowns. I really love his work.
Ooh, yes. Ooh, that's a new one for me. Joey, what do you have?
That Jackson one, that's a good pick there. I have PackADay, CheeseheadTV as well. And then I went with Kurt Warner and Times Quarterback Confidential. I'm sure Kurt is going to be very honored when he finds out I put him on my list. And then I also went with another NFL one in Secret Base, which was formerly SB Nation. They just make some really great, insightful videos on some sometimes random stuff. But it's just awesome for any diehard NFL fan. And then, of course, the essential choice of Tom Grossi.
Yes, the essential. Well, Tom Grossi's also on my list. I have Flemlo Raps because he's all of NFL, and he tends to talk about past players because he does this Where Are They Now series, which is just really fun. And he's really compassionate, and he has a lot of empathy for players and what they go through. Even it follows the ones that go through, what's it called? Like the community college that don't come through the bigger schools.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's really neat. And I get to learn a lot from him. So Flemlo is on there for YouTube. In general, NFL not necessarily going to make our Packers list. Of course, PackADay now, Andy Herman, because he's super consistent, steady hand, and he's on the local beat. So he has those privileges. And Underage Packers Podcast, because you two are so unique, and I admire you so much. You're fresh, you're original. I do love supporting young ones going after their dreams. Of course, Tom Grossi, I think I mentioned the quarterback school. I think I mentioned him last week on one thing that he did about Aaron Rodgers in it was just all Aaron Rodgers show. So quarterback school I like too. So those are my top 5, so to speak, not necessarily in order. And we were talking before the show, tons of people that we want on these lists, but if we have to pick 5, if you ask us next week, it might even be different. So
Right.
we're just kind of having fun with it. We don't want to hurt anyone's feelings because we follow a lot of different talents. So
Yes, and I mean just the fact that we, one thing I want to bring up is there's just so many like people to see, people to watch and read all the stuff they're putting out. So I think we're very lucky as Packers fans for all. There's something for everybody, really.
yeah, that's a really super good point. Well, let's pivot on over to our top 5 Twitter follows. So first we had YouTube. Now let's go with Twitter. So Big B, who do you love chatting it up with in the tweets?
Oh man, a lot of people. First I went with Tyler Herrick / CheeseheadTV, since he runs CheeseheadTV as well.
Mm-hmm.
We're very good friends with Tyler, and he does a lot of awesome stuff on the Twitters. Then I have Tyler's friend Monte. He's a great follow. Then Andy Herman, because he brings all the smart stuff to Twitter. Like, he's a smart person on Twitter that you go to, so you got to have Andy on that list. And then I'm gonna go with Dusty Evely. I really like his all 22 stuff that he puts on there. Really fun stuff to watch.
Yeah.
I feel like Big B bringing out Andy Herman as the smartness, the president of smartness, reminds me of 1984. You got the Ministry of Film Breakdown. You got the Ministry of just drinking beers and having fun. You got it all.
Yeah. That's great.
My top 5 here, I also went with Monte. He's great. We just had him on our show Name That Packer recently. He's a lot of fun on there.
Fun.
And then our friend from overseas, Dara, who I've missed terribly during his off-season leave of absence, but I'm looking forward to having him back during the season. And then I went with reporter for WFRV, MK Burgess. She's a lot of fun. We've talked before. She's great. And her coverage of the team is also fun. I mean, there's a lot of news reporters where I wish I could just have all of their content delivered to the St. Louis news station so I could watch them every night. But unfortunately, I just have to follow them through Twitter. And then 4, I went with your partner, Matt Trombone, and love him. Love how he supports everybody.
Yeah.
And then 5, Mr. Aaron Nagler.
Of course, Mr. Nagler. Okay. Well, let's see. I have Aaron as one of my top Twitter follows.
Aaron with the E?
Aaron Alice.
Okay, there we go.
Yep, ERIN Alice. And Dusty. Dusty, and Aaron, because she's insufferably funny and ridiculously smart.
Yes.
At the same time. Dusty, and she loves cats. Dusty, because I learn a ton from him, and he's also wicked funny. He's kind of witty. Maddie, my partner, because he's my partner and he is so kind, also pretty witty. Jamie Cheesebutt, just because I love her name and she's just got a good heart, and she's worth following. And then Aaron Rodgers' doppelganger is a blast. I love his sensibility on almost everything, and it's hilarious. But he also looks so much like Aaron Rodgers, so that's kind of fun too.
Yes,
so he made my list.
If I'm not mistaken, Aaron, the real one, is kind of lacking behind his doppelganger as far as hair goes. He has to catch up a little bit on the hair length.
Oh, really? It's not as long?
If I'm not mistaken, maybe I'm just going off some bad pictures, but I think we need to see this in real life. So have them back to back. See,
that would be great.
Yeah.
And then there's the German guy. Remember the guy that popped up last year?
The scientists? No, the guy that was at the game.
Yeah. That was crazy. So did Aaron, our quarterback Rodgers, is his hair longer than last year?
I think he might have actually, I think in his newest commercial, it was a little bit shorter. But
gotcha.
Hey, like I said, we gotta see them too.
Yeah, we gotta get them all lined up. Okay, so now this is the easy part, you guys. Just if you're listening, buckle up, because it's gonna get hard in a minute. Okay, we're going to do top 5 podcasts. So, Big B, who do you love listening to every week and why?
All right. So I have Packs What She Said. Perry and Maggie are amazing and super, super smart. Absolutely love their podcast. Then I have Packers Transplants. They're not every week. They're only during the season. But, Aaron and Corey together are just a phenomenal combination. And especially the Corey Banky rants every once in a while is worth the wait.
Yes.
Then Packers Unscripted. Wes and Mike are as well super, super smart. And I love what they do.
Okay. I don't have too much more variation on the list. I have Transplants, Packs What She Said, Packers Unscripted, and I echo all of what Big B said. And then I went with Locked On Packers as well, as much flack as Peter gets. Sometimes deserved. But and even sometimes I think his Twitter presence needs to be toned down a little bit. But I do really enjoy listening to him. He knows a lot. And then finally, the Matt Ramage show, just because one of my favorite things about Matt is he knows what he is and he knows what people want from him. He's not trying to be super insightful. He's just going to get on there, say, I'm feeling a little bit buzzed up right now, and have some fun. So those are my top 5 podcasts.
That's a great perspective too. Yeah, I hope no one's coming here for any really wisdom on Packers or football because I have nothing to offer. Okay, so my top 5. Oh, I have a top 5 and then 5 more because this is really, really hard. Okay, so Matt Schneidman and Bill Huber, I never know if it's the H or the it's the Head of the Pack show about the Green Bay Packers because they're both on the beat. So they're going to be up to date on everything, and they're at the games, all of the games. So I think that's important. They're of course super knowledgeable. They're both professional journalists, but they offer a little bit more objectivity because they kind of are supposed to be journalists. Right. So they have to be. Not that everybody has to be objective, if you're, but they do, and so I appreciate that particular bent on their show. Now I'm breaking PackADays down a little bit. I think it's no secret. Everyone knows PackADay Wednesdays are my favorite day of the week. I do love PackADay Friday. And I am going to, if we have time for a superlative, I'm going to talk about PackADay Sunday. But I learn a ton from them. Sarah, Dusty, and Steve have, just such good chemistry. So you sort of just feel like you're in the room with them. So I like that. And their food takes are just hilarious.
Yes.
And then Blue 58 is the third one I'm mentioning. Again, these aren't ranked yet, so I'm just kind of throwing these out. Blue 58 because smarter Packer fans are better Packer fans. That's how he always ends. And John Murdick has the best radio podcast voice imaginable, so he's super easy to listen to. And Acme Packers podcast. Also, I like their music. They have some original music too on their show at the end that I just discovered. And the content is just kind of like what you would chat out with friends. It's not necessarily, what you're expecting from a sports journalist or whatever. So that's kind of nice. You've got a different flavor. And then for overall football, NFL coverage, the Athletics Football Show is pretty awesome. So I like to get the overall picture of the NFL sometimes. So my honorable mentions, and they might end up on the top 10 because there's some overlap, is Peter Bukowski, which you guys mentioned, PackerNet, Packers Without Borders, the Ike Packers Show, and Packers Podcast, which is kind of the local coverage with Tom Silverstein and Jim Osworski of the Milwaukee Journal. I hope I said, how do you say his name?
If I'm thinking. I think that's it. I need to have the spelling in front of me, but I think you have it right.
Sorry about that, Jim. Yeah, so I have 10. So, okay. And then I left a little blank here for if we wanted to add anything else in, like just some extras or anything from TikTok or any other platforms, Instagram. Big B, anything else you want to add in? Top 3, top 5, more of other content?
I don't think so.
Okay. Joey?
I had 3. I wanted to throw in the Packer page on Instagram. He's great Instagram page that's been around for a long time.
Wow.
And has some great graphics. Also great friends with the owner, Nate. I mean, there's been like 2 or 3 times where the both of us have just been talking to each other and like, oh, I just started reading this book or watching this TV series, and we end up talking about that for a few weeks on end. So he's great. And then AJ Dillon, what he has done as a player is pretty incredible to grow his brand, especially considering to turn around his image among Packers fans from running back being taken in the second round, was the third stringer his first year in the league. A lot of people, I'm sure most people separated him from their whatever hatred they had for the decision to draft him. But I mean, he completely has turned around his image and what fans think about him through his TikTok and Instagram content. And then also wanted to throw in our buddy Tyler Herrick.
Yeah, he's great. Tyler's great. Love Dylan. Those are excellent observations. Let's see, what do I have? Well, these are non-NFL at all. Because I think people who listen to our show expect me to always put something in from left field, non-football, especially because it's summer. So I found a new YouTube channel called Catfished, which it shouldn't be, but I think it's hilarious. It's kind of along the scam influencer that I brought up last week, but this is when women or men are taking advantage of the other side for romance. They're taking money from them. It's just like you follow these stories and it's like, how could they have gone that far? Like, wow.
Have you watched the Tinder Swindler on Netflix and that documentary?
No.
Okay.
No. It's probably similar, huh? So.
Yeah, I know it was big a few months ago, and I'm pretty sure it's around that same vein.
Mm-hmm. Well, another thing you find a lot on YouTube when you start watching things is, well, at least it finds me, is like the Craigslist murders and all these murders that happen with these romance sites. And it's like, yeah. Anyway, so Catfish is my new find this week on YouTube. And my 2 favorites continue to be something channel called That Chapter, and also the Behavior Panel. And I'm not going to go into any details. Okay, now let's get to work. Okay, I should have been taking notes because I see some things are. I'm going to have to take notes. Okay, so we have to narrow this down to our top 10 overall rankings. So why don't we start with the different categories first? And just find what we overlapped on. I'm pretty sure we can do that pretty easily. So let's go back up to the beginning. So we started with YouTubers, right?
Yep.
And we all had Tom Grossi, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And we all had PackADay in some form there. Okay. And what else? Did you 2 have 2 in common on the top 5?
We had CheeseheadTV.
CheeseheadTV. That's what I thought. Okay, so our top 3 YouTubers are going to be PackADay, Cheesehead, and Tom Grossi. Boom.
Pretty good list.
All right, and then Twitter. Who did we have in common on Twitter? Big B, who did you have on Twitter again?
Tyler Herrick / CheeseheadTV, Monte, Andy, Herman, and Dusty.
Okay. Monte, Dusty. Well, should we say Aaron Nagler? Since that's CheeseheadTV. Okay. All right. So our top 3 Twitters are going to be Monte, Aaron Nagler, and Dusty. This isn't that hard. Wow. This is working. I should have done a spreadsheet. Matt would have been so proud of me.
Oh, man.
Okay. So now podcasts. I think we all agreed on. You two had Pack's What She Said.
Yep.
Okay, that's a definite. And then what other two did you two have in common?
Transplants, and then Unscripted.
That makes sense. Did you have Locked On also? Big B?
No.
Peter? No. Okay. So Unscripted it is. So that was the only one. So okay. So for that one, for podcast, we are Packers Transplants, Pack's What She Said. I love it. And Packers Unscripted. All right. So now, and then we're going to skip the others. Well, the others, we had Tyler Herrick, who's awesome. I think we both mentioned that him.
Mm-hmm.
The Packer page, AJ Dillon. I haven't even seen the Packer page, and you didn't have others, right, Big B?
No.
And mine were off the like.
Yeah, they were off the grid completely. It's all right. They got their shout out.
That's right. They got their shout out. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, so this isn't so bad. So then, I'm going to make a list here. And then we have to rank them. Yeah, here's going to come the fun part of it. Okay, so we've got PackADay. I'm going to copy paste. PackADay, Cheesehead, and Tom Grossi. I'm going to just copy paste it on the bottom so you can see what I'm doing. And then rid of that one. Did you both mention Kurt Warner?
No, that was just me.
Oh, okay. All right. And then we have, I lost my spot. Aaron, Monte, and who was the third one? Aaron, Monte, and Dusty. And it doesn't matter what the category really is at this point, anymore, because we're just going to mix them. I love MK Burgess. That was a good call. Zaire. Awesome. It's hard to take these people off the list. Okay. And then the last three we're going to have to rank. We're just going to have close our eyes and pick, I think. I don't know. Okay. And the last three are here. Oops. All right. So here we go. We're going to renumber these. PackADay. PackADay, Cheesehead, Tom Grossi, Monte, Aaron Nagler, Dusty, Packers Transplants, Pack What She Said, Packers Unscripted. Is that 9 or 10? There's one more. And Tyler Herrick. Because he's kind of in a class by himself. I love his content. Yeah. I love his posts. All right, so now we have PackADay. Okay, so these are top 10, not ranked. PackADay, Cheesehead, Tom Grossi, Monte, Aaron Nagler, Dusty, Packers Transplants, Pack's What She Said, Packers Unscripted, and Tyler Herrick. Okay. Wow. How should we do this?
Oh man.
Joey, do you have a number one absolute favorite out of the top 10?
I think objectively PackADay Andy Herman has to be on there, number one.
Yeah, and that makes sense to me because we also had him under Andy Herman as another follow. What do you think, Big B?
Yeah, I think I have to agree.
Okay. Okay, that's going to be number one. Sorry about the helicopter. Hope you can't hear that. It's very loud. It's military base. Okay. Number two.
We got pretty much 2 or 3 Aaron Nagler mentions on that list, so I think put him somewhere in the top 3.
So we've got CheeseheadTV and Aaron Nagler. So do you want Aaron or do you want
yeah, Aaron.
Okay. Sounds good to me. We could actually combine them, but no. Do you want to combine them? Since somebody else could be on the list. It's our rules. Like, who cares?
Yeah, sure.
Or do you feel strongly about keeping them separately?
No, I don't have any preference.
Okay, let's do that because then we can add another one. Because I just hate leaving anyone off. Okay. All right. So we've got PackADay number 1 with Andy Herman, CheeseheadTV with Aaron Nagler, and of course Corey, right?
Mm-hmm.
For number 2. So who's coming in? Who are you feeling as a number 3?
I think Tom holds a good spot at 3.
Yep.
Grossi?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I can't believe it. We're in agreement so far on everything. Okay. Okay, number 4.
Let's do. I would put up my vote for Pack's What She Said.
Okay. Big B, who just say who you think, Big B. I'll be the tiebreaker.
I'll be different and say Dusty.
Ooh. I would go with Dusty too. And here's why. I'm going to say why, and then you tell me what you think.
Okay.
Because he puts out, because he has the pack, he's on the podcast, but he puts out so much other material, so much other content. Plus, he's a great Twitter follow. So he's like hitting all the categories. He doesn't just have one podcast. What do you think? He's so prolific.
Okay. I can agree with that.
Okay. So Dusty, you're number 3, baby. All right. All right. Oops, I put him in front of Tom. Sorry. My copy paste skills are failing me here. Okay. So now we've got 4. PackADay, CheeseheadTV, Tom Grossi, Dusty, right?
Yep.
Okay. Did I say 3? Yeah. Sorry, Dusty, number 4. Okay. All right. We've got Monte, Packers Transplant. We have room for another one to add back in. Pack's What She Said, Packers Unscripted, and Tyler Herrick.
Let's move Pack's What She Said to 5. Yeah, 5.
Yes, because that's right. That makes sense. That's easy. That makes total sense. I should figure that one out. Okay.
Right, halfway through.
Top 5. Woohoo! Top 5. So excited about this. It's ridiculous. I've been waiting. Okay, we've got Monte, Packers Transplant, Packers Unscripted. You guys talk about that. I'm just going to scroll on up and see who else did we mention.
Okay. Man. I think Packers Unscripted.
Yep.
I think it'd be good in that next spot.
Agree.
Okay.
And then Monte, probably soon there. Yeah, and then I'm interested to see this might be a brawl over who gets to enter into this list here.
Well, okay, so we've got Monte, then Packers Transplant, or Monte and then Tyler.
Monte, then Tyler.
Ooh, I don't think I agree with that one. They gotta put Tyler above him.
Okay.
Above Monte?
Yes.
Okay. Whoa. Just because of his track record, been around longer.
Yeah, I would say. And he's got 2 good accounts to follow. You know.
Right, and directed the greatest video to ever hit the Packers Twitter sphere.
Yes.
Okay.
Featuring yours truly.
That's good reasoning. Okay, so Packers Unscripted, and then Tyler, and then Monte, and then Packers Transplant. Okay, so what do you think about? Okay, now I'm just throwing this out here. Okay, you guys can pick from anybody you want. What about for number 10, Aaron Ellis?
Yes, that's who I was going to say.
What do you think, Big B?
Man, I was actually going to say Paul Bretl potentially could go in.
Oh, I know. And then there's Peter Bukowski too.
Yeah.
Ooh. I can agree with Paul Bretl.
Okay, Paul Bretl it is.
That man does so much. I
He does.
cannot believe it.
He does. And what's the name of his thing? I forget.
I know his YouTube channel is just Paul Bretl, and then
Okay.
all right.
Okay. Okay. So number 1, PackADay and Andy Herman. Number 2, CheeseheadTV and Aaron Nagler. Number 3, Mr. Tom Grossi. Number 4, Dusty Everly. Sorry. Packs with Cheesehead is number 5, coming in close. Packers Unscripted, number 6. Tyler Herrick is number 7. Monte at Ferguson is number 8. I just had to say that. Number 9 is Packers Transplant, and number 10 is Paul Bretl. Woohoo! I'm going to make a graphic. We did it. That was hard work. I worked up a sweat. I'm nervous. Yep. I'm sorry to the millions of people who are helping me on a weekly basis. I didn't get to mention because I'm such a space cadet. Oh, that's good. How do you feel about that list?
I like it.
Yeah. I like that it was collaborative too.
Yes.
It's not just like one person. So if anyone has an argument, we all have each other's back.
Yes. It feels like America's Got Talent, or, we were the judges circle. We had to review our choices here, and I think we made a good list here.
We're in this together. I like this. I think we came up with a good product, guys. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So hope our audience enjoyed all of that little change to our venue, but we are going to get back on script here with our superlatives for the week. So Big B, the best of, the worst of, or anything in between for the week that you came up with.
I'm just gonna say, shout out to Aaron Nagler because he has a birthday coming up. So happy birthday to Aaron Nagler.
That's so sweet.
Okay. The birthday-ist, the old guy.
I know. I was gonna say how old is he, but then I was like, no, I shouldn't do that. But I'm probably older than him, so it's okay.
Okay. My superlative is the up and comer for a quirky title there, and I'm gonna say Alex Struth. He's been working his way up over the past 2 years, and this past weekend he was on with Jason Wilde on ESPN Madison for their annual State of the Packers show, and I threw that on and played Madden for 2 hours, and it was great fun. Alex was great. We've talked to him a few times. I love him, and I'm glad to see he's getting all those opportunities.
I love him. He's another one with a really good radio voice.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I haven't been on Twitter much over the summer, but I know I'm following him. Has he been kind of incognito this summer?
Yeah, kind of. He's probably just busy yet. I know at first he was just like producing some shows for ESPN Madison, and
Cool.
I know he does a lot of stuff with the Badgers sports when they're in season.
Okay. Well, I'm glad he's still out there doing his thing and making the moves. I have a superlative today, and it is PackADay. I believe it was Sunday. It was the 10th, so I think that was Sunday. And I love that show. It was Jimmy, Christensen, Gage, and Nick. And they discussed and they ranked, and I just listened to it today. They did rankings of the top coaches in the NFL. But the discussion that they had about each coach was fantastic. And I tend to really like content that once in a while at least covers the whole league, you know what I mean? And I just loved the insights that they brought and the reminders that they brought up on all the different coaches. I can't remember what their top 5 actually ended up being at the end. I was going to listen to it again. I probably should listen to it twice, but yeah, it was really, really good. Did either of you listen to that one?
No, I did not.
It's all right. It's all right. It was
I'll
really
put it on the
good.
list, though.
Yeah, put it on the list. All of the people and the podcasts and the YouTube channels and the individuals that we discussed today will be in our show notes. So you also want to follow all of those because they're our top 10, and these are our superlative. Any other superlatives from you, gentlemen, today?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, it's been so great to have you two join me. I am so relieved that we finally have a new podcast list. And this conversation came up, I think, when we had Andy Herman on the show. I grabbed a graphic from his website, which I knew was probably somewhat outdated, and I got some flack about it on Twitter, like mostly like, oh, that person shouldn't be number 3, and that person, whatever. It was just a graphic I picked. I didn't write the list anyway. And then Big B chimed in and said, "I'm going to make a new list." So, what do you think, Big B? Is this your list, or are you going to tweak it a little bit?
I don't know. I kind of like it. I think we did a good job on it.
I think I'll put our names on the bottom so everyone knows it's our opinion.
Oh no!
Only our opinion. All righty. So, hey, anything else? Any final thoughts before we go, you guys?
I've got nothing.
All right. Well, it's been lovely to chat with both of you. You definitely want to follow Big B at Big Packers 4X and Joey at Joey GPG.
There we go.
And the Underage Packers Pod at Underage Packers in all the places, everywhere.
Yep.
All the places. So make sure you're following and staying in touch with all of us. We really do have a super supportive online community. We have a lot of fun. Next week, Maddie will be back from vacation. And friends, let us know if there's someone you would like us to have as a guest on the show, whether it's a fan, a super fan, or a content creator. We are always looking for fresh points of view. And we have 2 openings for next month for female voices as well. And I just came up with an idea when we were talking tonight that I forgot. So, and we appreciate when you take a minute to rate and share our podcast with someone who you might think would enjoy it, because that's the best way we can grow the show and continue to spread the love in our online community, whether you're a football fan or not. So with that, we appreciate you all joining us here. We're all so glad to know you, to be fans of you, and have the luxury of being fans of the most storied team in the NFL. We appreciate your support, your subscriptions, and sharing our pod. And we look forward to seeing you next week on Hey, We Like Your Pod.
Football in general comes down to discipline and people owning their roles. And when you aren't disciplined or you go outside the scheme, bad stuff happens.